Hello everyone. Today we are going to learn about 4.5 graph of quadratic equations. Yeah, before we learned how to draw the graph of quadratic equations, right? But today we are going to do a little bit differently. So you will be able you will find the zeros and vectors and vertex, and also one more thing, y-intercept, and then you are going to graph the function. But before we do this, please let's do the do now first. So can you factor these two expressions? So you know how to do it, right? First the GCF and the use Kim's method, please. I'll give you about 3 minutes. Okay. All right, let's go over this together. So what is the GCF, greatest common factor among all these three terms? 696. Yeah, 3, right? So you take it out, 3 as a common. So 3 times 2r squared plus 3 times 3r is 9r. 3 times minus 2 is minus 6. And then you put this, now what do? You use the Kim's method, put this in the calculator in the graph mode. And then look at the table, right? In the table, what should you find? The 0. Which 0? X0? No. If x is 0, y value is y-intercept, not the 0. So we find out y 0. Y is 0 and the x value. If you put into the calculator, I found the x value was negative 2 and the y 0. Then if this is negative 2, 0 is negative 2, you know you find that the factor, right? One factor is, what is it? R minus 2? No, it said opposite, so R plus 2, right? Sorry about typo. It's not X, it's R. R plus 2. And then when you find that the other factor in the parentheses, X times what is 2R squared? Actually, it's R, right? R times 2R is 2R squared. And the number part, 2 times what is negative 2? 2 times negative 1 is negative 2. So you find out like this. Is right. Don't forget about 3, please. Here. Okay, number part B here. Common is 2. X squared minus 4. Now, you can use a 2 method. So if you know bx is 0, right? So bx is 0. So when you add the two numbers, it's 0. But when you multiply two numbers, negative 4. What are they? Yeah, we know negative 2 and 2, easy, right? So x minus 2 times x plus 2, you can find that this way. Or if you can use the Kim's method also. If you put into the calculator x squared minus 4, you will get the 0, negative 2 and 2, two zeros you find. It's okay to find the only 1 0. Then you will get the, from here, x plus 2, right? 2 times x plus 2. Then you get the second one, x times x is x squared, and the plus 2 times negative 2 is minus 4, that way. And then you get this. So don't forget about these two. So final answer is this. Everybody understand? Okay, let's go to today's lesson. So now, we have a function f of x equal to 2x squared plus 3x minus 2. This is a standard form of the function. But you know how to factor, right? Then we call this factored form. So this and this, they are all equivalent. So you can put this function in the calculator or this one in the calculator. Both of them will give you same graph and same table. But mostly in the question, you are going to have these, right? So I believe now you can factor and then you can get this one too. But now, when you draw the graph, now our goal is not the factoring here. So we are going to draw the graph. So don't worry about factoring, but you already know. But we'll focus on how to graph this function. But now, what are the three most important elements to graph the quadratic functions? Can you think about it? What are they? Three most important elements. Yes, it's a vertex, which is the center of the graph, right? And zeros, which is in the x-axis, which is y equal to 0, and y-intercept. If you find out these elements, three most important elements, then even though you don't find out all other points, you can just draw the graph briefly, okay? So when you draw the graph, you need to show at least these three elements: vertex, zeros, y-intercept, right? So we are going to learn how to find out the vertex, how to find the zeros, and y-intercept you already know, right? But these two things, by using the calculator, very easy. You are not going to calculate anything today. So you are going to use a calculator only, right? So how do you find the vertex? We did it before. But now, let's use the calculator together, okay? If you put into the calculator, this one will give you this kind of graph, right? And then we know the vertex is here exactly in the middle. How do you find it? This one, in this graph, we know that this is a minimum, not the maximum, right? That's what we learned. Yes, then we go to the second calculator, which is second trace is a calculator, all right? Second trace. Then you choose the minimum in this case. If the graph is upside down, the maximum. And then calculator will ask you to set the left bound, right bound. You should set the left bound in the left side of the vertex. You should set the right bound, right side of the vertex. So and then if you do it, you enter again when you see the gas. Then it'll give you like this. Minimum is equal to what? X equal to -1, Y is -3, like this. But this is something wrong. Why? This calculator kind of rounded wrong. It's rounded it. It's not exactly -1. So I want to show you with actual, calculator. Let's try together, okay? So I'm going to the calculator and put the 2x squared plus 3x minus 2. I put the function here, right? And then what do you do? Go to the second trace. Give it that's a calculation, right? Then we find that the minimum. This is a vertex minimum. So number 3 is the minimum. You can go down or you can click the 3. Then what did I say? The calculator will ask you here, if you read it, left bound. You need to set the left bound. So set the left bound means that this cursor is here, but must be in the left side of the vertex. How do you move it? You move this by this arrow until you are in the left, until the cursor is in the left side. It's already, you can go more, doesn't matter, but you don't need to go more as long as it's in the left side. And then enter, right? Then what does it ask? Right bound. Set the right bound. How? You move it to the right side of the vertex. So let's go. Okay, that's good enough, right? And then what should I do? Enter. But it's not the answer yet. It said guess. You don't need to do anything, just enter. If you enter, what did it say? The calculator give you minimum is -1, y equal to -3, but I'm sorry about this calculator because I didn't set properly in the mode, right? If you need to go to the mode and then go down the float, okay? And then set the 2 decimal place. This is the reason. If you set this and you go to the graph and you find out one more time. I wanted to show you this one, how to set the, the decimal place. So go to the mode and you did it right. And then let's try again. So second, trace, number 3 minimum, and set the left bound, enter, set the right bound, enter, and then guess, enter. Then what do you get? Yes, x is negative 0.75, y equal to what? Negative 3.12. It's different, right? So sometimes when this is not the exact integer, you need to change the, mode, right? In the decimal place. That's kind of you need to remember. So let's go. So we found out, what did you, so we found out what? Vertex is negative 0.75, negative 3.125. Now, even though it took so long, it's very simple. When you find the zeros, you can find out again zeros with the calculator very quick. So you look at the table, you find the 1 0 from here, right? Negative 2, you found out, but there's another 0. So if you already got the factor, you set this equal to 0, you get the x equal to negative 2. You set this 2x minus 1 equal to 0, and then solve it, it'll give you x equal to 0.5. All right, if you already have the factors, you can do it. But now, let's assume that you don't have this factor, only this function. Then I'm going to use the calculator again. Same place, all right? Let's go there. So now your mode is give you the already, in your mode, you see 2 decimal places, right? You need a decimal place because of that. So 2 decimal places is good enough. And then let's go to the graph, right? 2x squared plus 3x minus 2. So now we are looking for zeros. Again, look in the graph. Zeros are the points here and here, which touches y equal to 0 line, which is x-axis. So here and here we are going to find out. So you need to find out 1 0 at a time. I'm going to find the left one first, okay? How do you find the left one? I'm finding left one and then right one. So now let's go. Again, when you find the zeros, second trace. Where's the 0? Oh, number 2. So you go down and enter, or you click 2, it's same. Now we are looking for this 0, right? But now same thing is happening, left bound. So what should you do? You go to the left side. You pass the 0 value here, right? And then enter. Now what is asking? It's asking right bound. Then you need to move past the 0 here. And then you are in the right side, right? That's good enough. Then what do you do? Enter. Guess. Don't do anything, just enter. Then you get the 0, which is negative 2 and y value 0. So y value must be 0 always. What is 0? X equal to negative 2. So you find the 1 0. And what is the next 0? Next 0 is here, right? So let's find again. So we do the same thing. We repeat the same step, but here. So second trace, which is a calculation. And number 2 is 0. You go there, set the left bound, but this is not the 0 we are talking about. Okay, you should go here. So this 1 0, so let's go to the left side a little bit more, so that, okay, so still you are in the left side, right? Don't pass, then it'll be right side. So you are in the left side. Enter. And it asks right bound. Okay, we should move to the right side. You pass the 0, right? And the cursor is in the right side. And what do? Enter. Again, guess. What should you do? Enter. Yes. 0 is x equal to 0.5. It's not an integer. So you should remember, please, mode, when in the mode, right? In the mode, you make sure the decimal place, at least one place or two decimal place. Float is the decimal, float. So you make sure mode is, two decimal place in these cases. Please remember this, and no problem. So we found out the 2 zeros, right? Everybody get it? By using the calculator, when you find the vertex, it's minimum or maximum, and you know how to find the zeros, so we are done, right? Only thing is the third one. What is y-intercept? Easy. When x is 0, what is it? Y value. 0, 0, right? And then left is -2 will be the y-intercept. So y-intercept is always c. So you don't need to do anything. You don't need to use a calculator. So now, how do you draw the graph? So we plot first vertex in the graph, and then zeros and y-intercept, right? Let's do it. So vertex is negative 0.75. Here is negative 1. Here's negative 0.5. Between is negative 0.75. And then y value is negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, 0.125, a little bit below negative 3. So negative. So here is the vertex. And then now we plot the two zeros. Negative 2 is here. 0.5 is here, right? And then make sure y-intercept is negative 2 here. Yeah, then we are going to draw the parabola by connecting this. Don't go back in here, please. So if you draw it, it will be like this, all right? It goes out to the right side, but sometimes if you make a mistake, it goes back in. Some people don't do that, please. Or keep going up, straight up. That's a mistake also. All right. So even though it was a long video, but the graph, when you're finding vertex, zeros, y-intercept, was very simple by using the calculator, right? Okay. So I needed to go to the answer this question in the Google Classroom, but you already know the three most important elements when you draw the graph. How do you find? Now you can practice with this one. You know how to factor, right? And you can answer. So after you do this, please compare with this in the slide. You can see the result. Okay. So first find the vertex. You will see the zeros, y-intercept negative 18, as we did in the calculator. And then this is the factor form. If you draw the graph, it will be like this. But make sure you plot the vertex, 0, negative 18. Oh, 0, negative 18, then this is a y-intercept also same, right? The vertex y-intercept is same. And then negative 3, positive 3, and connect with the parabola. So now you have assigned the questions. Please finish everything and then turn them in Google Classroom. Okay, I will stop here.